Hi everyone, it's Sarah, the owner and creator behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're a returning viewer, big welcome back. I'm so glad that you're back again. Let's dive into the shop update. So I was super busy dyeing. I have been dyeing like crazy for the Advent, the Multifarious Nature 2021 Christmas yarn Advent. There are still some available, so please feel free to follow the link below and you can purchase them. You can go to multifariousnature.com and find them there as well, but that's where the link will lead you. And just a reminder, only purchase that by itself. It will not be shipping until November. So I am so excited too because I got to dye up the full-size skein, the 100-gram full-size skein that is for the 25th of December. I'm so excited. It's so pretty, and I feel like it really just goes with all the colors together. I really had a lot of fun dyeing up this Advent, you guys. It's so neat to play with all the different colors and play with different techniques that I haven't used before, and I'm really excited. It turned out awesome, and I cannot wait to work with it myself. I am going to gift myself one of them, and that way I get to open them with you guys. And that's where I made those little like drawstring bags for myself. Those that will be my Advent this year, and I will get to go through the process of opening it with you for those who purchase the Advent. So there are definitely some available, so please feel free to check that out. Also, before I forget, if you are not subscribed and you would like to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button below. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when I post new videos. So you'll be the first to find out about giveaways, all that good stuff. So that's super exciting. And the Advent is on 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It's non-superwash, so if you're looking for something non-superwash, that's where you can find that. And I'm looking down at my notes because I feel scattered, so scattered. I have been mostly monogamous this week, really primarily working on one project, which is the Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry. And I got major progress. Okay, but funny story. So I actually got almost to the point for splitting for the sleeves and realized I totally forgot to fade. It's a Comfort Fade Cardi, so you're supposed to be fading as you go along. And I just didn't pay attention to the fade directions, so that was just my own fail. But here is what Andrea's looks like. So she did much more neutral. I'm going with some color. So I'm using my colorways, the Multifarious Nature colorways. And here we are. So this is where I was last week, and I ended up getting to basically here and then realizing I forgot to fade. So I ripped all the way back and started again. So I was knitting like crazy on this the other day to catch back up. So this is on my alpaca blend. So it's an alpaca merino nylon blend that I carry, and that is what my Dusk is dyed up on. So it's a gorgeous navy color. If you're looking for something deep and moody, I love my deep and moody colors. That is an excellent one. It's also a great color instead of black. If you're looking for something deep and moody but you don't really want to go with black, Dusk is an excellent option. The next colorway that I'm starting to now knit with, I got to fade into it, is Cranberry. This is another colorway by Multifarious Nature that I've dyed up. It's a warm, kind of a brick color. It's a cranberry color. The name really suits it. When I look at cranberries, this is the color that I like, I think of. It's just a very warm red, and I am loving the way this is fading. So this is knit with your normal wrong side of the fabric being the right side of the fabric. So this is all the purl side basically. And then you've got your like knit stitch raglan there. But look how, okay, I can understand now why she wanted purl side to be facing out, because if I flip this around, this is the right side of the fabric. As you can see, it doesn't really fade very well. It's a much more defined line, where with the wrong side, I feel like it has more of that softened look to it, so it creates that fade effect. So I now appreciate it. At first, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about having the wrong side facing out, but I get it now. I totally get it. It looks really nice. So as you can see, I literally, just before I started this video, separated for the sleeves. So I put the sleeves on like scrap yarn. There we go, like just spare yarn. I usually always keep some of it in a bag to work with. So you can see that is there. So now I'm just doing knitting basically, like back and forth. So it's gonna hopefully go faster. And then there's a certain amount that I'm gonna be knitting, and then I'll start fading to the next color. And the next color, I finally caked it up. My cake is getting a little bit crazy looking here. Oh dear. The next color is another Multifarious Nature colorway. It is one of my favorites as a fall color. You can use any time of year, but this just, when I was trying to think of what to knit next, I was definitely thinking fall, and that's why I went with these colorways. And that's pumpkin. I love this colorway so much, so much. It is my favorite orange. It is pumpkin. It is like the pumpkin color. I absolutely love it. It glows. So you can see it a little bit here. You'll definitely be able to appreciate more when it's knit up, and when it was skeined up, you can really see it. There's just nice glowing sections of lighter orange in there. It's so pretty. So that's gonna go after, so they'll be fading. The next color will be pumpkin. And I'm really excited because then the last colorway, of course, will be caramel corn, which I'm just really excited about this. It's just gonna be so fun and so warm and cozy and fall oriented. So all the bases except for Cranberry are my alpaca blends. Super soft, wonderful to knit with, definitely a fluffier fingering weight. But Cranberry is on 100% merino. So it's nice and soft as well, but it is a little bit not as fluffy. It's a very typical fingering weight. And the needle size I'm pretty sure I'm using the size that she counted for. And you can see it's creating a nice, it's very light. It's gonna be a very light cardigan, but it'll be nice and warm because it'll be mainly alpaca merino blend that it'll be made out of. So I'm so excited about it, and I cannot wait for that shawl collar. It's just gonna be so cozy and wonderful. And yeah, I love it. Don't you just think of fall when you look at these colors? I do so love fall. I do. I just wish it was longer because for me here in Michigan, I feel like fall lasts a week. I just do. I feel like it lasts a week. So the next thing that I am working on, I just started this morning, is the slip stitch stash hats by Rene, Rico, and this is going to be for that Operation War About Flint. It's I guess it's a make-along, and I'm calling it a knit-along, crochet-along, but I guess it's kind of a make-along. Basically, you just need to make one item, and you can join at any time. The only thing I ask is that you would finish an item by October 15th, and that mail it to me. So put it in the mail by October 15th, so that way I can get them all together and then ship them to the Flint. It's Flint Makers. I'm pretty sure that's the name of them, Flint Makers. I have it written down, and I have all the information you'll find below, as well as on the Ravelry page. But if you don't use Ravelry, you can definitely join by just you can contact me. You can do it through my website, multifarioussnature.com. You could contact me down below in the comments. You know, you could contact me anyway and let me know you'd like to participate. That would be awesome. And yeah, you just need to make one thing. It could be a set of mittens, it could be a hat, it could be a scarf, one item, and that is something that you basically are donating, and then there is a giveaway for those that participate. So very excited about that, and that is what this hat is going towards. So I'm really excited because I finished one hat, I finished another item, and I am now working on another hat. So far I'm really liking this pattern. So this is that slip stitch stash hat by Rene Rico. I am really only doing it in 2 colorways. So this is just, they're both acrylic. This is like a Karen, like a jumbo that you get at the store. I had a bunch of it left still. And it's a multicolor. So I used that one. And then I'm using this one that I just had a bit left of. It's an acrylic. I got this from a thrift store. I'm not sure the brand or anything, but it's acrylic. And I did the brim in that multicolor, and now I am starting to work with the kind of aqua color. And it's really nice and thick. Like, this is going to be really thick. This is just the border that'll go around the head. And I'm doing everything smaller because I'm gearing it towards children. So an adult with a very small head probably could wear this, but I think it's considered like an adult small, but I'm definitely gearing it more towards kids. And yeah, you can kind of see, I just started doing that slip stitch pattern, so you really can't see it too well, but you'll be able to see a lot more next weekend when I get further along. I don't think I'll have it finished by then. This one I think is going to take me a little bit longer than the Luke hat that I did, but yeah, enjoying it. It seems very easy so far, and we will see how that goes. I'm doing it on a smaller circumference. You can see the knitting needles are right there, and eventually I will be probably switching to a longer cable so I can do magic loop method to do the decreases for the top. I don't use double pointed needles. I use magic loop method pretty much for everything, and it works for me. So that is that. Yeah, I'm really liking that pattern. It's going quite well so far. I mean, I just started that this morning, and that's probably a good 2 hours worth of knitting in that hat. So it definitely is taking a bit longer. The other hat was super fast for me. I feel like it was. So that then leads me into my finished object. It's technically like a half finished object, but I feel like it counts as a finished object. So that being said, I'm going to change my rules a little bit for the knit along. Originally I said if you did a set of mittens, that was only, excuse me, that would only count as 1 item, but actually a set of mittens will count as 2. I don't know why I didn't say that in the beginning, but yes, it's just like if you made a pair of socks, which that would be 2. So each, and like I said, each item counts as an entry. So if you knit 2 items, you get 2 entries. If you knit a pair of mittens and a hat, that's 3 entries because it would be 2. And here is one of my finished objects. It is the Kids Mittens by Kelly Spenhoff, yeah, Kelly Spenhoff. It seems big to me, but I followed the pattern, so I guess it gives you the length. So maybe they have a little hand, but I mean, it just seems big. But I mean, it's to gauge. Maybe I have really little hands. I don't know. I don't think I do. But I did that. They were all acrylic. Again, this is that multicolored acrylic, and then the pink was a separate one. And now that matches my Luke hat that I made, because I'm going to make the little set. So I've got the Luke hat, and then I'm doing a pair of mittens to go with it. So this will go into that Operation Warm Up Flint. And then that slit stitch stash hat will also go in there. So that is my goal, to finish those. And I'm really excited about that. So I hope you guys will participate. And just remember, you can do any pattern. These are free patterns, both of these, the kids mittens and the Luke hat, and as well as the slip stitch stash hat. Those are all free patterns, and I have links to that in a previous video. I believe I also actually have links to it in the Ravelry group page for participating. And yeah, there's just so many patterns out there, you guys, so many patterns. You can do anything. And they did make a note that they really were hoping for more kids items, which it shocks me that they aren't getting a lot of kids items, because I mean, they seem faster to make, right? Because they're smaller, and they have been. Like, this was a lot faster for me to make than an adult size hat. So, I don't know. But yeah, I hope you'll join me and do that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And you can also reach out to me through Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, what else am I on? Ravelry, and YouTube. So you can reach me on any of those platforms, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So that is the kids' mittens. So that's what I've been working on. I didn't really work on the even wrap at all this week, so I'm not really going to show you that. I haven't made any progress, so I'll work on it eventually. I just really got distracted by my cardigan, and you know, frankly, it's my own fault because I screwed up, and I'm one that if I screw it up, I want to rip it back and then get back to where I was as quickly as possible so that I can be moving forward, right? So, but on a funny note, you could see I have this finished and I'm not working on another one already, and I'm working on a hat instead of the other mitten. And the reason is because I developed second mitten syndrome. Apparently that exists, because I don't ever have second sock syndrome. Like, I seem to be fine with socks. But mittens, to me, are a little irritating. I don't know. They're not that bad. It's just, I think it's because of the circumference, because it's acrylic, and you have to, you know, you're knitting at such a tight gauge. My hands, it hurts a bit. Acrylic, I just have to say, when I'm working with the acrylic and then I go back to my yarn, the Multifarious Nature yarn that's wool, it's so much softer and has so much more bounce, and it's so much more pleasant to work with, and my hands just really appreciate it. So I kind of like to switch between the two, because acrylic's hard on my hands, cotton's really hard on my hands. But there we are. All right, so now we're going to get into kind of like planning ahead kind of things. So exciting things coming up here in the future. Obviously, fall is around the corner, right? I've been noticing more and more knit-alongs or make-alongs popping up, like the fall garment make-along. I've seen a couple people doing that, and I might take part in one. I never have in the past, but I do want to cast on a sweater anyway. Why not? Because I splurged, and I did it on purpose. I'm trying not to buy. I'm trying so hard. I'm gonna like eat my words here because I'm gonna contradict myself, but I'm trying really hard just to like dig into my stash and use that. So like most of these items that are being donated, that's all stash yarn. So that's the yarn that I already had and I'm working through, which is awesome. However, I did purchase some because Alafos, which is a store in Iceland, they had their holiday sale, which to me, I was just like, they're doing a holiday sale? I just think of the Christmas in July, right? That you see that a lot of people are doing that kind of sale right now. Or I should say did, because it's August now. We passed July. So they already did their sale. Goodness. All right. Anyway, so they were doing their holiday sale, and I picked up yarn, and I'm trying really hard to buy yarn from local yarn shops and support them, but unfortunately in the past I did state that many local yarn stores to me do not carry Icelandic flotalopi. I love flotalopi. It's wonderful. I used it to make one sweater, and now I just want to make everything, like all my warm sweaters, I want to make in flotalopi. I love it. It's the most pleasant yarn to work with. It's not yarn. It's unspun. It's like roving. It's pencil roving. It's unspun yarn. It's amazing. If you've never worked with flotalopi, this is what it looks like. So this is how it comes if you buy it like at the store, or if you order it through like yarn.com, I think is where I originally got this. And this colorway is plum. You can't really see it very well. This is what it looks like. I have one that's opened. So that's plum. It's gorgeous. I use this in one of my sweaters. I ordered enough to basically make probably 2 sweaters with the yarn I keep calling it yarn, the roving that I purchased enough that I could probably make 2 sweaters out of it. I just didn't realize that because I've never worked with it before, and now I know better. But it's amazing. It is one of my favorite sweaters that I've ever made. It is the Pinewood Sweater. I think it's Andrea Yetman was the designer. I could be wrong. But it's the Pinewood Sweater. It was on Biscuit, I think that's how you say it, their yarn company. They're out of Canada, and she designed that pattern for their yarn. It was a free pattern. I think it's still free on Ravelry. It's amazing. It's the cutest little thing. It's like a 3/4 sleeve sweater. It's so warm. It's so wonderful. I wish I could wear it all the time. I wore it in 60-degree weather and I was fine. I started to get a little bit warm, I'll be honest. I got a little bit warm, but I was able to wear it in 60-degree weather because it breathes, because it's actual wool. And this is the other color that I had previously. So this is stash wool that I want to use. This is, again, flotalopi. It comes usually, it's like 300 yards for plate. And this is, I think it's called Deepwood. Deepwoods? Deepwoods. I think that's what it's called. So I had those 2 colors. So I want to use those in a sweater. But I ordered more, and I ordered it from overseas. And again, I usually like to buy it from US stores to support my local economy. But I actually splurged and ordered it from the Icelandic, store, Elafos, because their sale was amazing. The pricing and including the shipping cost, oh my gosh, like half the cost that I spent on the yarn when I bought it here in the States. So I just had to buy it, right? I had to. I couldn't help myself. So I bought a lot of it. I probably could make at least 2 more sweaters, if not more. And this is how it came, by the way. So this is how it was when I ordered it here in the States from yarn.com. It comes like this, and it's a little wrapping with its label, and it tells you all the specs and everything. This is how it comes if you order it. I don't know if it comes this way when you order singles, but if you order it, I'm going to go on a limb and say 2-3 plates or more. It comes like this. No, check this out. Oh, how cool is that? So it comes the way it is when they get it. It comes in like a bundle, when they finish processing it, it comes in a bundle, and then they just like pull it apart. So you've got these stacks of plates. So I've got 4 of this, which I think was called Winter Night, something like that. Winter Night Blue or Night Blue, or it's one of those colors. Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautiful. This reminds me so much of my Ocean's Deep colorway. So much. When I saw it, I was like, oh, hallelujah. I mean, this is like my Ocean's Deep. It's a little bit brighter than my Ocean's Deep colorway, but I was like, I have to have it. I have to. And then I ordered this one. because you need a nice light neutral, right? I've wanted to get the oatmeal colorway, and it's always sold out. Always. It was even sold out overseas. But this is light gray. Pretty sure that's what it was. Light gray. So up close you can see like little black fibers in there with the white. So it gives it that kind of a gray effect. But it's still very light colored. It's lighter than I thought it was going to be a little bit, but I still love it. So this feels softer than the blue. I feel like a lot of them that have been dyed they're like processed more, so this has more of your lanolin in it. This is wonderful. That's the one thing about Plutalopi. If you haven't ever used it, it has lanolin in it. It's amazing. It smells so good. It smells like lanolin. It's like, I guess, sheepy. Some people don't like it. Yeah, I really like it. It smells so good, and it feels so good on your hands. Like, that's why I'm so excited to knit with it again, because my hands, I loved it. I loved it. And then I have this yarn in stash, which is 100% wool. It's not as fancy. It's very accessible. It's Fisherman's Wool, Lion brand. This is just, I think the color is 123 oatmeal. It's oatmeal. Another neutral. So I have two patterns in particular that I would like to knit. There's one that I've been eyeballing and I want so bad. It's the Wild Posy by Melody Hoffman. It's gorgeous. She literally just released it, but I don't want to do the tee. It's a tee pattern. I could do long sleeves probably, but she's actually doing a version of it that is a long sleeve, and I think it has these little flowers on the sleeve, and I want that pattern so bad. So I'm probably going to hold out for that one, even though I think she has like a deal going on right now for the short sleeve. I'm sure she'll have a deal when she releases the long sleeve as well. But instead, the patterns that I am, that I just got, one I purchased and one was free. So this is a brand new pattern to me. It was released this past year, and it's called Birdseed by Jamie Hoffman. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's gorgeous. You can see the pictures online even better, but it has kind of that dramatic decrease, so it gives it kind of that puff sleeve, and then it's a fitted cuff. It's gorgeous. There's this nice like seed stitch thing going on around the collar too. It's absolutely beautiful. So I want to do one of these colors. So this would be in Plutalopi, probably. I will be doing this sweater. Or the Fisherman's Wool. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm thinking it's going to be Plutalopi though. I don't know. This one definitely will be Plutalopi because it's gorgeous and it needs color work. And it's hilarious because that Pinewood sweater I was talking about earlier is pretty much these colors. So it's like Olga Putano and I like are on the same wavelength here. This is the Forester sweater, and I did pay for this pattern. This did just come out this past week, and I don't know if you follow my past videos. If you go way back, there is a video about my Pinewood sweater, and these are the colors that I chose. See? Wine color, like that's what this is, like a plum purpley wine color. And then birch. Can we just take a minute? Can we just for real, like, so of course when I saw the sweater I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make that. Even though the coloring is similar to what I've made in the past, the patterning is definitely different. So this is a long sleeve. There's color work on the cuff. There is color work around the top. It's a 2-color color work, so I feel like that's pretty, I'll be able to get that done. I feel very confident now that I've done a color work before, and I'm really excited because it's a beautiful, much more organic looking shapes, where the other one I did was much more geometric looking shapes. So I'm really excited about this one. So those two sweaters, oh my goodness, my voice is just like leaving me. Those two sweaters I definitely want to knit this fall, winter. So That's my in the future here. And it will be, one of them will be in Plotolopi, two of them may be in Plotolopi, but one at least will be. So yes. And what else is coming up? So I've never gone before. Apparently they've been doing this for a little while. And I didn't know about it, but I do now. And so I'm going to share this news with you. If you aren't aware, this coming weekend, the 18th through the 22nd of August, is the Michigan Fiber Festival. It's apparently huge, and I have never gone before. But last year was, COVID, and I literally just got really into knitting. So I was in my own little world and no one was leaving their house. So why would I even look into a fiber festival? I wouldn't. So yeah, but this year I am going, and I am going with some family, and I'm really excited because it's gonna be so much fun. I just already know it's gonna be so much fun. I kid you guys not. I kid you not. I printed the list of vendors. So this will give you a little bit of insight into me. I printed the list of vendors, and I went through the list of vendors on their website, looked up their websites and their information, because, I only get one day that I get to go because I work during the week, during the time it's going on. So I'm only going to go on the weekend, and I circled the ones that I'm interested in, and some that I think that the people I'm going with may be interested in. That way, hopefully, then we'll hit those. We did find out, unfortunately, one of the ones I wanted to go to wasn't going to be able to make it. She did say that she wasn't going to be able to come, which is a bummer, because I was like, oh, I wanted to see her yarn so bad in person, but that's okay. And yeah, but I circled stuff. I wrote down some things that I kind of want to look into. One of which, because I saved up some money, so I have a little bit of money stashed aside for this event in particular. So I will be buying a few things. I will. So that's why, like I said, I'm kind of contradicting myself by not buying things. But this is my first fiber festival, and it's a fiber festival. I'm gonna buy something. People usually have deals going on, and I just it's like holding candy in front of a baby. I'm gonna buy something. I just will. So one thing in particular that I'm looking into is a spindle, because I have a spinning wheel now, right? And I've been spinning my yarn, but I don't have a lazy Kate, and I don't have a jumbo flyer. And I don't know about you, but if you haven't looked into the cost of a jumbo flyer, it's basically like a couple $100 just for the flyer. It doesn't even include a lazy Kate, and I was like, that's crazy. So I saw some videos on YouTube where people were taking spindles, drop spindles, and plying their yarn that way, their hand spun yarn. So I'm going to try that because, yes, some spindles can be quite expensive, but you can also get some that are very reasonable. So I figured a fiber festival would be the perfect place to look for a drop spindle. So I'm going to look for drop spindle, and then, of course, some yarn, because even though I dye yarn, I love to look for yarn that is out of my comfort zone, but I will like, and yarn that has a different technique applied to it than the way I dye it. So it really opens my horizons, broadens them, and I'm really excited about that. So that is super exciting. So that's the Michigan Fiber Festival. It's in Allegan, Michigan. So if you are in Michigan or live semi-nearby, I highly recommend you check out the festival. I mean, I haven't checked it out yet, so I guess I shouldn't be recommending it, but you're supporting local people like myself. I won't be participating this year. I have not participated. I'm basically going to check it out. Maybe next year. Maybe. I don't know. It depends. But I get to check out other indie dyers and fiber like mills and fiber tool creators, like spinning wheels and the cones and garters and everything. Spindles, everything. I'm so excited. I don't even know. That's why I printed out the list, because I knew if I didn't do that, I would just be so all over the place and I wouldn't know where to go. And there's, multiple buildings to go into. There's outdoor space. Mind blown. I'm so excited. So, looking forward to that. That's this coming weekend. And I get to join my family and do that. So they're going to join me on my fiber addiction and to see me in my element. I love it. I absolutely love it. I was telling some people at work about my knitting addiction, and I kind of laughed. And I wore that sweater, the So Faded sweater that I just recently showed in my last video. I wore that to work, and it and like nobody believed me that I made it. And I'm like, yeah, I made this sweater, and they were shocked. And I was just I felt that was like, it was it was so nice. People were so impressed by it, and someone that I work with actually said something that was shocking to me, and it's so true. They said, oh, it's like knitting. That's like a lost art. And I thought, no, it's not. But then I realized there are so many people that don't realize how accessible and how many people knit. Like, a lot of people do. Like, it really isn't a lost art form. It's just, it's something that usually we do by ourselves, right? Or in a group at a building where you're not like out in public. And I think we need to change that. I think we need to spend more time knitting outside and with others, and at parks knitting, or, on the train if you're someone who takes the train places, and out in public knitting, which I'm sure you probably do. Because, let's face it, we try to knit whenever we can, right? And if we don't, you should. So, I mean, and one of my coworkers, she even said she sees me on my lunch breaks out. I sit in my car on my lunch breaks because it's like comfortable. And, and so I sit out there, and after I eat lunch, I'm knitting. And she's like, yeah, I see you knitting in your car all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do, because it's how I relax. And it's one of those things. So get outside, knit with people, and talk about it, because you should. And that's the thing, I guess, this Michigan Fiber Festival. People are going to be knitting outside, knitting together, and I literally cannot wait. I cannot guarantee that I'll record any footage of it. I'll try to take some photos that I can post about it, because I am one who gets caught up in the moment. I like to experience the moment. I like to be involved and completely in the moment. So when I'm at that festival, I am going to be enjoying the company of the people I am there with. I'm going to be enjoying all the fiber and color, and it will take me moments to adjust to my surroundings, because that's the person I am. I get overwhelmed and I need to take it all in, And so I know I won't be doing any recording of videos. My sister might. She's gonna be coming, so she might, but I can't guarantee it. So I will just say that I'll take some photos. And yeah, that'll probably be it. No video, but there'll probably be some photos. And I will definitely do a video about what I purchased there, because I know I will find some treasures. I know I will. So, looking forward to it. Really excited. And if you're in the area, you should definitely check out the Michigan Fiber Festival and help support your local economy and your local small businesses. And I hope you guys are doing good. What have you been up to? Have you gone to any festivals? Are you looking into going into any festivals? Tell me about it. If there are any in Michigan, oh my gosh, tell me about it. If there's any in Illinois, tell me about it, or Indiana, because those are my stomping grounds. I have family in Illinois, so we kind of go through Indiana. It's kind of a good meeting place. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any festivals you love to go to or have gone to in the past, you know, pre-lockdown. You know, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to add it to my list of places to go. Um, yeah, what have you guys been up to? Anything exciting in your neck of the woods? Or what are you knitting, if you're knitting or crocheting or making, painting? What are you up to? I would love to hear about it, and I will talk to you guys soon. I so hope that you are staying happy, healthy, and I hope you're creating. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Bye.